Hello! We are back.
I'm back again.
And about time too. Yep, we're playing Donkey Kong Country Returns again. After a couple week break. And as you can see in the top left corner, we are going to be talking about a movie we saw.
Yeah. Very, very interesting.
So I've decided the official unofficial title for this stream will probably be Mario Movie Podcast with footage of me dying at hard Donkey Kong levels in the background.
Yeah.
So do we want to start or end with overall thoughts?
Let's I guess end with overall thoughts.
So how do we introduce this?
Well, as a I guess something I had heard. I've been watching a lot of kind of breakdown and Easter egg videos, and everyone's favorite channel, Game Explained, had a few good points. I thought that the movie kind of omits certain characters, I guess for certain reasons, and I thought they made some interesting points. So one of them they talked about was Cogsworth, how they could have added him in when they're discussing about what to do.
Wasn't he in a poster in the?
I think he was, yeah.
Yeah, which Nintendo not too happy about that one. They tried to get rid of him, tried to lock him away. He's real. Illumination remembers.
And they pointed out that the one blue toad
Mario Galaxy reference.
But yeah, it's interesting to see that Cogsworth was absent from the movie.
So yeah, I guess we'll start off with the lead up to release. What a wild time that was.
Yeah.
Everyone knows where they were when Chris Pratt was announced as Mario.
Yeah, that direction. Probably most infamous for that.
And then so what did you think of the first scene with the penguins?
I thought it was interesting. I like they built a lot of suspense. Now, obviously, that entire thing is pretty much just the first trailer. So I knew what was gonna happen. It's interesting that the penguins get their own like kingdom. You have obviously the Mushroom Kingdom, and then the Kongs have their own kingdom, which is slightly different than how DK Isle is, and the Yoshis have their place, but then you just have the penguins.
Yeah, the Yoshis kind of just appear in that one shot and then never again.
Yeah.
Except something that we will get to later. But hello, young man.
I think overall it was a pretty good scene. It kind of very quickly sets up the plot.
I definitely thought because of the Mario 64 reference and the way Bowser got the Power Star, I definitely thought they were actually Power Stars and not and not, you know, superstars.
Yeah, I saw a lot of theory videos. Well, maybe not a lot of theory videos, but theories that like every kingdom would have a star, and Bowser was gonna one by one try to get all of them.
Why are you spoiling the Mario movie? Because we want to talk about it. If you don't want to, if we don't want spoilers, then just don't watch the stream. I don't know. I get what you're saying, that people are weird sometimes, right, Spaghetti?
Yeah. At least it's not the day after the movie came out.
Yeah, it's not like we're doing this the day the movie comes out. I mean, I suppose, you know, this, maybe I should have titled this the Mario movie stream. But it is, I guess the focus is also Donkey Kong Country Returns. I don't know. But anyway, moving on.
How did you like the Donkey Kong references in the movie?
I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. I think the best way to do this is one scene at a time.
Okay.
But it's still a little weird that it opens with penguins instead of toads.
Yeah.
Just why? And the "Do you yield" line is gonna become famous. Famous movie quote.
Yeah.
Right up there with "I am your father." I might be joking, but then again, it's the highest selling animated movie of all time now, or something.
Yeah, I still don't know why the stars are so rare. And I still don't really know why Bowser just didn't use the star. I guess he was waiting, but
Yeah, it's a little plot hole, but I does Infinite Break have more plot holes than the Mario movie?
that's a good question.
Which is the better constructed story?
I know they both had a lot of references. So.
Yeah, that is true. I think yeah, this is of course our first scene with Bowser and Ken in Bowser's army, and that plays out about what you'd expect. And then, so people have made edits where they cut the last part of the final, they cut the last part of the first trailer into directly into the Super Show reference trailer, and that's actually how they cut it in the movie.
Yeah, I thought that was a good way to structure it. I had seen one of those videos, and I was like, yeah, that could work.
And then that's exactly what they did. Yeah, I think I also, one of the funniest things you said when we were watching it was, it took all 5 seconds for the references to start.
Yeah, right, pretty much. After all the like the company logos, right, and like right away they started with the airship theme.
Yep.
2, 3.
Which I guess we want to talk about the soundtrack first, because that's something about the whole movie. The soundtrack, when it wasn't 80 songs, was so good. It was basically orchestrated remixes of a lot of Mario songs. Hey, do you know how? I mean, I know there are a lot of references, a lot that we still haven't even found yet in the soundtrack, but how do you think? How obscure do you think those references got with the soundtrack? Of the ones you noticed.
Most of them, them were, well, not all of them, a lot of them were from the original game. There were quite a few from the third game. I have been watching some of the, because they released the soundtrack on different platforms, so people have been listening to it, and I've listened to a few videos. For the most part, they're cool. There are some Odyssey references that I
Yes.
quite did the first time.
I love the I love how when it came to the 80 songs we heard I Need a Hero and we immediately said Shrek 2.
Yeah.
Which I think that out of all the 80 songs, that's the one that fits its theme the most. The others really didn't need to be there.
Yeah.
In fact, did you hear that the Donkey Kong area scene with Take On Me originally had its own Donkey Kong medley track, but it got cut in place of Take On Me.
I have heard that.
So then you have this these split opinions on I like Take On Me. Oh, but they removed a way more fitting song.
Yeah.
And then the after that scene we get penguin scene. I guess we've already kind of said everything we could about the fact that there's a Super Show reference with the whole Mario Bros. Plumbing commercial.
Yeah, that was nice.
And I like how it even ties into the ending with Mario's character arc and all that. And Chris Pratt even does a bit of an Italian accent in that trailer as well.
Yeah, I'm not expecting the first time.
And it definitely.
Alright with the Italian accent.
Yeah, I think it sounded much more believable as a good Mario impersonation. In that trailer than the one Wahoo in the Rainbow Road scene.
Yeah. Then we got our first Charles Martinet at the end.
Yes, Charles Martinet is the Jumpman looking guy.
The first time it happened so fast, I almost missed it. Oh! Yeah, I did like the Punch-Out references were interesting.
Yeah, the Brooklyn scene in general is just filled with so many retro Nintendo in general references. You have Mario playing Kid Icarus.
I heard that may be a reference to this 1986 Japanese Mario movie.
Really?
Yeah, there's this. It was. I think the plot is pretty much just the first what happened in the first game, but it starts with Mario playing a Famicom, and Luigi walks in behind him and starts talking to him.
That's actually pretty interesting.
So I don't know if it was an intentional reference or not. It could be, but it was interesting that it happened twice. I said if it wasn't an intentional reference.
But I like how I guess way more people have been exposed to Kid Icarus through this movie than have ever even played it.
People disliked it's not like a Metroid Prime Federation versus trailer. Played it, yeah. What did you think of the scenes where they went into the sewers of Brooklyn?
I thought that was, I'm surprised that was one of the only scenes that really took advantage of the underground theme. They weren't even in the Mushroom Kingdom yet. But, yeah, it does raise a lot of questions about why the pipe is there in the first place.
Yeah, that's a good
And then, oh yeah, and then Pauline
Yeah, that was
is in the
interesting.
news about how Brooklyn is flooded.
And the mayor of Brooklyn, I guess, who couldn't have her in New Donk City. That would make a lot of sense at that time. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. How I wasn't quite sure what kind of a role she would have, but I guess pretty much just a cameo.
And then it was great how Mario's family as well.
Yeah, that was interesting. I was not expecting to see them, but
Apparently, Mario's mom and dad were actually the designs were created by Nintendo.
yeah, I had heard something about that. Kind of unused character designs.
And Mario's dad was voiced by Charles Martinet as well.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where I don't know if I did you pick up on the fact that Mario's dad was Charles Martinet?
I did not until after the movie.
Yeah. I was able to just because I've heard of I've heard in interviews his other voices he does for some characters sometimes, so I thought, hey, that sounds kind of like that. I could believe that he has 2 cameos in this movie. And then I like how Italian Mario's family is in general as well.
Yeah. The best Japanese, American, Italian. I know people make that joke.
Don't be racist, be like Mario. And then it goes on to say everything you say. Then you have Spike.
Yeah, that was interesting. I guess he had a pretty minor role. Based on, because we pretty much the first casting was about like
Yeah, and that was just a leak because the voice actor accidentally leaked it.
Yeah, this is why we can't have nice.
I thought he was going to play a bigger role in the Brooklyn scene. I thought we were actually going to see why. I thought we were actually going to see what happened and what caused him to leave this business.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, but yeah. And then Luigi's ringtone is the GameCube startup.
Yeah, that one was pretty obvious. It was nice.
That was the best reference in the whole Brooklyn scene. Mainly because it's from an era that we are more familiar with.
Yeah.
Speaking of the soundtrack, just jumping over to that for a bit. Remember, you know the scene where it looks kind of like Luigi's Mansion, where Luigi's in the Darklands.
Yeah.
Not only is the Luigi's Mansion theme appear in there for a couple seconds, but also Deep Dark Galaxy.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Which is really random. Which is especially funny because me and Anthony were talking about Deep Dark Galaxy after the movie and didn't even realize that the song was in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, the Galaxy references there were a few of them. It was nice to see. And we didn't even, I guess I'll wait till we get to that point, but.
Oh, that's another thing I was going to talk about. What were the two things? If you would say what were the two things to get the biggest reaction out of us when we saw it? I think it's one of two things, but the biggest. Yeah, there was that. just casually drop. Yeah, it's the DK rap, but also Gusty Garden.
Yeah, that one too. That was definitely.
That was one of my favorite parts of the whole movie, and it was during the credits when one of the songs in the credits theme was just Gusty Garden. The best song from the best game, I guess. I like the second one better than. But yeah.
It's interesting. Hearing it, obviously, Galaxy has an orchestrated soundtrack, so it was pretty. It didn't feel all that. It was pretty much ripped straight, like they recorded it straight from how it was written. So that was nice.
Yeah, it's basically just an alternate rendition of it because it doesn't feel all that much like a leap forward in how it sounds. It just sounds a little different, but it was still so cool to hear it because we thought it was just going to be references from before our time.
Yeah.
It turns out, yes, they care about the Galaxy references too.
Yes, and some Odyssey references.
Yeah.
Also called. Did you hear about the Toad where they had like their meeting?
Oh yeah.
The theme.
Luncheon Kingdom.
Yeah. I did not pick up on it.
Yeah, I did not either.
I don't know if I've ever heard that song. I obviously played Odyssey. I don't remember if I just played it handheld and had it time or I had the sound up. But
Yeah, it plays in the actual town part of Luncheon Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gusty Garden was I think the most excited I got in the whole movie.
That was nice.
And then what else was there in the Brooklyn scene? Oh, there was Mario and Luigi getting their first job in a rich guy's house.
Yeah. It's a Pikmin reference.
Yep, there's a Pikmin reference. There's a small little statue of Pikmin there.
I think I had said, so I don't know if it was in the theater before we saw it or if it was on the way there, but I said, there's going to be some sort of Pikmin reference at the end, but not into this movie. And sure enough,
Yeah, that was especially cool to see, even though I didn't see it either the first time. I think it. I'll have to try and catch it next time I see it. It's I think it's in the specific shot where where Mario and Luigi they drop from the window trying to save the dog.
Okay.
Which, by the way, the dog's name is Francis.
Yeah, I don't know that. Probably not an intentional reference, but I thought that was funny. I immediately thought of Super Mario.
That there's no way that was intentional, right? There's no way.
Probably not.
There's no way.
I didn't see a whole lot of similarity between you. You can totally. Well, I mean, you can answer the question: what is Mario most afraid of in Super Paper Mario? And one of your options is Francis.
And Mario was pretty afraid of that dog, so correlation? Coincidence? I think not. Alright. I'll mostly have to comment on the gameplay since I'm not listening to spoilers, but will we have enough lives to finish this last world? You know what? That's a good question. Probably not.
Well, find out.
I've been doing better than I thought I would have been doing so far, so that's nice. Some of you notice that Francis gets Luigi's approval at the end in the last scene?
Yeah, I do remember that.
I just said that because I didn't pick up on that when I first saw it.
Good conflict resolution.
Yeah.
And just as you can buy Kitron for Francis. Although the dog didn't charge 999 points.
Are you doing well enough? Yeah, my same thoughts. Yeah. So then, next up, and did we talk about everything in the Brooklyn scene?
Pretty much. There's that reference to 112. They were getting to their first job.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the small part where where they're running to their first job. And Mario was platforming, Luigi just didn't want to.
Yeah, but then they unsuccessfully try to fix Brooklyn and get stuck there eventually.
Yep. So they end up in the Mushroom Kingdom. They get split up. Luigi lands in the Dark Lands, and Mario lands in the entrance to the Mushroom Kingdom. And then Mario meets Toad, and of course Captain Toad's theme plays.
Yeah. That was nice.
I mean, it's not specifically Mario Galaxy related, but it is from Galaxy, so that's nice.
I also think that it was interesting that the first enemies were like the bitty buds and brown balls.
Yeah, it's just The first enemies. We're not the usual ones. It's just Bitty Buds and Brain Balls. Just because. I guess Bitty Buds would be our 3D Land reference.
Yeah.
And Brain Balls would be our new Super Mario Bros. Reference.
Yeah, it's nice to see some less familiar and more recent enemies making cameos. Someone briefly saw the Shy Guys, and they captured Luigi.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the Shy Guys were there. I think a couple of them were snippets.
yeah.
So that's neat. Toad's voice, what do you think of that?
I thought it was alright. It wasn't as, how do I put this? High pitched as some of the other Toad voices in this series, which I was okay with.
Toad has had some.
For the most part, I know people said, like, I think people eventually got okay with Chris Pratt's Mario and stuff. I thought they did a good job. I know some people didn't like how Seth Rogen just didn't change his voice at all.
Yeah.
For Donkey Kong.
I mean, what would Donkey Kong sound like though?
Yeah, I think he was fine.
Would he sound like the old banana? Donkey Kong 64. Is that Donkey Kong speaking? Or... Who
I
knows?
think that would be worse than Toad having.
I can't wait for jumping ahead a little bit to the Peaches song, the Bowser things. I can't wait for the Toad cover, Toad voice cover.
That song is really taken off.
Yeah, I didn't expect people to like it as much.
It's eligible for an Oscar
Yeah.
for best original song.
I didn't expect people to like it as much as they did. But I guess the Mario movie will latch on, or the Mario community will latch on to any sort of official song.
I'm thinking now, just as Jump Up Superstar got like every Nintendo Music channel instantly like created their own covers of Jump Up Superstar after being great 2017.
Yeah, it's the same thing is happening, and it's a much weirder song.
Yeah. I was not expecting, like, I kept wondering, like, because we knew Jack Black had mentioned that he was gonna have a hit single, and I kept wondering, is this gonna be what it is? And then I don't think I was actually prepared for when he actually started with it, so that was interesting.
Yeah, and then his piano says Ludwig von Koopa on it.
Yeah, that was a nice reference. The Koopa Links.
And then, I like the Bowser and Kamek and Bowser and his minions scenes because they feel like they're straight out of Paper Mario. You have what was I going to say? I like a new Super Mario Bros. Wii reference where Kamek dresses up as Peach.
Yeah, that it's kind of weird. Well, I guess not weird that they just ripped the whole marriage plot straight from Odyssey.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
It's a good thing they didn't actually get married, or the chaos would have appeared.
Yeah, they've done that plot a few times. Apparently there was a Super Show episode about that too.
Yeah. It's just weird. The kid. How many times have they gotten married and the Chaos Heart only appeared one of those times?
Yeah, maybe that's only the Paper Mario
Yeah.
members. Yeah, Count Black.
What if the story just took that turn, that direction, just that far into the movie, and then it just ends on a cliffhanger. Super Paper Mario time.
I don't think as many people would have been satisfied.
Yeah, people would have been, what is this? Can't believe they created the original characters for Mario. And oh wait, it's actually from something.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I guess I'll talk about the our Luma cameo. I guess I didn't realize that was just Luma Lee from the Starbit shop.
I'll never be able to spend 20 Starbits buying a Life Up mushroom again without thinking of that character.
Why did what happened? Did he go bankrupt or something?
He evaded taxes. And that's why Bowser put him in the cage, because he evaded taxes.
Yeah, that whole kind of. I know a lot of people like Luma Lee's character. I think it's a little weird.
Yeah, his outlook on life reminds me of Galaxy 2's chances on Switch.
Well, maybe we could have got the gems.
There was no lava, sorry guys. There's no lava in the movie.
Yeah. Maybe it was.
There was no Rosalina either, which is really weird.
What did you think about? Do you want to? Well, I guess we may be getting ahead, but I guess I'll wait to talk about the kind of the Rainbow Road scene and the climax.
Yeah, why was there this Luma character that was just in the cave, did nothing, is a throwaway character, and it's a Luma. Which is supposed to hint, if you're going to include a character like that, it's supposed to hint at something Mario Galaxy related in the rest of the movie, and it doesn't.
Yeah, they're definitely setting something up for us.
Yeah, it's just if I think if they're setting something up for a sequel that's Mario Galaxy related, that's fine, but why have this character that's clearly from Mario Galaxy and then just not do anything with it?
Yeah.
But I think aside from that, what do you think of Luigi?
I thought he had a good character. It established, they showed that he's often scared of things. They had that scene with Baby Mario and Baby Luigi kind of.
Oh yeah, that's right. The character development of Luigi. Apparently he's never been apart from Mario for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Although I wish he just did more in the movie, outside of the beginning and end, because they put him in the.
Yeah. Some reviews have complained that Luigi is a little limited on his screen time.
Yeah, because he's in a cage half the movie. But when Luigi does do stuff, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Bowser's small scene with Luigi was a little interesting.
Yeah.
And then maybe the sequel will have more of Mario and Luigi doing stuff. Because you can also have more character development because they clearly wanted to do more with them since the brothers are such an iconic duo, but yeah, Luigi. There was that, and then there was also I liked the scene with Bowser and his minions when he said I like how Bowser is both very intimidating, threatening, and also equally just as incompetent. In the one scene where his minions roast his terrible plan, that's obviously not going to work. Mary Peach, and then in return, Bowser literally roasts them.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, I'm not so sure what Bowser thought was gonna happen.
Yeah, his minions got it right. Then there was. Oh yeah, by the way, we're at the final boss.
Yeah. Not capable this time.
Yeah. At least it somewhat. Oops. At least it somewhat. I guess we'll watch this cutscene this time. It somewhat expands on the lore of the bananas, the banana horde. Even if it's not the Kremlings, it explains why they wanted them. We have the Tikis instead.
Yeah, this boss kind of reminds me of a
Master Hand.
Well, I was gonna say both the IROC from 64 and one of the bosses from Kirby Superstar.
Yeah, it's just a floating head with two hands is just a very it's just a very overused trope in bosses anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the movie. I guess we covered all the stuff with Bowser, Luigi, and Kamek, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's. So then, the scene with. I also wish, besides Luigi, I also wish Toad did more.
Yeah.
Because the only scene where he's really the star is the one where he's leading Mario through Toad Town. And then that's about it.
Yeah, he did do it. Well, I liked how he had the Tiny Titan in the Mario Kart.
Yes. People have speculated that Toad wearing sunglasses in the Tiny Titan is a reference to this Mario 64 bloopers video. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
I do not.
But yeah, I highly doubt it is actually a reference to that, but it would be really funny because Toad with sunglasses in the Tiny Titan is a great image.
I do like how they included the Captain Toad references. They probably could have done a little more. Obviously, if they do a Galaxy-themed sequel,
The Toad Brigade.
yeah, they'll probably have a bigger role.
Yeah, and then after that, you have. I like the princess in another castle. They had to get that in somewhere.
Yeah.
Then Mario meeting Peach.
Yeah.
What do you think of that whole scene?
Yeah, it was interesting. I guess their plan just to run and try to evade the guards wasn't the best plan. I think it was interesting how they addressed that, like, there aren't a lot of humans in the Mario world.
Yeah, and then later in the adventure part of the Traveling Mushroom Kingdom, Peach has this small, very unexplained backstory about how she just appeared in the Mushroom Kingdom one day.
Very much in need of elaboration.
Yeah.
But
Because-
yeah, overall, I think it was alright, Steve.
Because if Mario's the only, because if Peach is a human like Mario, then where did she come from?
We just have to look at Yoshi's Island DS.
Yeah, Yoshi's Island DS. That's the true canon game that explains where Peach comes from.
Eat baby Mario now. A baby DK gets to appear in baseball games.
I do like how baby Peach, all the baby versions of the characters in the flashback scenes do at least look like how they do in the game, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I do really like the training scene with I Need a Hero.
Yeah.
I like how Peach says it's okay to suck at games when you first start. It's okay to be bad at the game.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Is it because it mirrors how people get better at games? Peach teaching Mario how to play Mario.
Yeah, that was interesting. The donut blocks and things.
Yeah.
The giant, like, question mark block. at the beginning.
Apparently Mario doesn't like mushrooms.
Yeah. That was interesting. The whole power-up thing was interesting. How he essentially just saw the first ones from, like, the up till 3, and then there was just the cat suit.
Yeah.
The Donkey Kong suit.
Which is the only modern power up I think we saw. I mean there's the ice flower too, but
Oh yeah. Could have had the frog suit.
exactly.
I guess fast forward a little bit. When Mario and Donkey Kong were underwater, I thought they were gonna have the frog suit.
Yeah, I did too.
And I was like, oh, this is their chance. They just didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, and then we have the Mario, Peach, and Toad adventure scene, which I think really could have been extended.
It's kind of walked through, like...
It's just
They walked through Yoshi's Island.
they walk through Bob. So yeah, Rock Candy Mountains, Bob on Battlefield, 1-3 from Super Mario Bros. With the fish, and it's just kind of just a montage of all those places.
Yeah.
When when you think about it, that is what you spend most of your time doing in any given Mario game. It's the adventure part. And they just kind of skipped over it. I do like how we saw Bob on Battlefield in Sand Kingdom though, and Yoshi's Island. How does Yoshi's Island? How does that one shot tie into post-credit scene if they've supposedly never seen a Yoshi?
Yeah, I think they'll. Obviously, it's probably going to be this week. I think they'll know. At least some of the characters will know what Yoshis are. But I don't know. Good point.
Because the post-credit scene, of course, I guess we should explain. I mean, you've already seen it if you're here, but it's a Yoshi egg in the sewers of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And then there's a Yoshi sound. The Yoshi sound plays, and then so someone in the theater mimicked the Yoshi sound, and then Lasagna said, "I agree."
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting. And they just pulled the Yoshi sound straight from the game, which I thought was nice.
Kazumi Totaka in the credits. I didn't see him in the credits, but I assume he is there.
No, I think I heard that he went uncredited.
Oh, he went uncredited. Oh, come on.
Just like Grant Kirkhope.
Yeah, just like Grant Kirkhope. That's the most famous uncredited because he himself complained about it.
Yeah. They just said, just play Donkey Kong 64.
Yeah, just play Donkey Kong. We did see Donkey Kong 64 in the credits, and we started laughing at that. So at least they have the game it's from, but they don't have the person who actually made it.
Hey, what do you think of some of the Kong cameos?
Yeah, I guess we have gotten to that part. Oh, Swanky Kong? Did you see Swanky?
Yeah, I did.
Swanky is the one who the sports coats Kong. He just throws a banana, and then Swanky Kong just dies.
Yeah. I think that was a good time to talk about some of the characters that the big continuity thing that we know the whole thing with Donkey Kong Jr. how Cranky Kong is like the original Donkey Kong, and then Donkey Kong Jr. is his son, and then the modern Donkey Kong is the grandson of Cranky Kong. But in the movie, Donkey Kong is Cranky Kong's son, and that means like Wrinkly Kong is his mother, and we don't actually see Wrinkly Kong in the movie.
What if they actually included Wrinkly Kong's ghost in the movie?
That would have been interesting. But I guess this is why the Kong family tree is so confusing. It was nice that Diddy had a short line.
Yes, Diddy. Yes, Diddy actually had a speaking role, which people have speculated. Is that just Keegan Michael Key Toad?
Possible.
But it was really cool how you have Diddy and Dixie there. They show them a couple times. Chunky is right next to them.
Yeah.
Chunky is not dead. Unfortunately, no Lanky. But there are a lot of cool Kong cameos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Funky Kong. I didn't think it was nice to see Funky Kong in the Mario Kart scene, but he obviously wasn't running Flame Runner, so he didn't like.
You didn't get the memo.
What did you think? Let's see. talk about it now. But do you think the Kong's army was a little lackluster? Because he recruited them and they all just got captured. Like,
yeah, that the whole. I think it is a little lame how the whole point of going to the Donkey Kong Island to get the Kong army just didn't do anything anyway. Just resulted in nothing.
Getting DK was pretty much the only thing that helped
Yeah.
in the climax.
Yeah. And then I liked I like the glider part before they meet Cranky Kong. And then Cranky Kong's voice is not what I expected.
Yeah. Definitely. I was a little unsure of his for some of the part.
Yeah, and then so what do you think of the Mario and Donkey Kong fight itself?
It was interesting. I heard obviously that was in, I think, the second trailer, at least part of it. And I know a lot of people compared it to Smash
Yeah.
when that happened, and I could kind of see that, but I mean, I liked how it referenced the original, like the arcade game with the girders and things.
Yeah, and then the music when Mario defeats him.
Yeah, that was a nice touch.
And then Donkey Kong does at one point in the fight he does the roll. And then the Mario oh yeah, Donkey Kong blows out the fire flower Mario was gonna use.
Yeah,
Well, look, I'm blowing right now. That's what this is a reference to.
I picked up one because we had mentioned, we had talked about how that was Miyamoto's doing. So when he did that, I was like, that's definitely a reference.
That's a reference to Donkey Kong Country Returns. The most random reference. Yes. What is something Donkey Kong does in a game? Oh, we can reference him blowing. It's just really funny. The funniest part was just how, yeah, it's a pretty weird reference to begin with, but the fact that we were in the middle of our streaming of this game when we saw it.
Yeah.
And then of course Mario gets the cat suit. Shoutouts to the reviews of the critics who say when has Mario ever been a cat?
They obviously haven't played Mario games recently.
Mario's been a cat for 10 years now. And then there's so that scene is pretty cool. One of my favorite jokes in the movie is after the fight that Mario and Peach are talking, and then Donkey Kong just walks out and says, "I let him win." Just for the record.
Yeah. No Johns.
No Johns. It's a good thing Donkey Kong is the hero in this game. Alright, I think it's focus time because I'm running low on lives.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Whoa, this is scary. And I survived, okay. Come on, but no! Don't do it again. Stop doing that attack. And wow. Okay. Anyway, what do you think of Oh yeah, one of my favorite song cameos was the Mario Kart 8 menu feed when they're getting ready to which that cashing in on the best Switch game. I said that when we were watching the movie. They basically referenced the entire kart customization mechanic from Mario Kart 8.
I'll have to once it comes out on video, obviously on like video release and things. I'll have to look through because I definitely saw some of the cards and things from the.
Yes, all of not the cards from in the actual movie, but not the ones that they actually end up making, but the ones that are on the selection. Those are all from Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, that was nice. Obviously, the Rainbow Road, the music. I was, as at least a few YouTubers I've seen, I was expecting the 64.
Oh yes, I was. It would have been better as the 64 one because that's the one everyone knows. It's the best one, but I was fine with this SNES one as well. Just the first one.
I was also kind of expecting like a medley.
Yeah, that would have been the best, but I understand that they didn't want to go that far.
You see the evolution.
Yes.
He wasn't even in first.
Yes, Mario wasn't even in first. Okay, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. I finally beat it. Watch this ending. It's glorious.
Alright, I'm still getting to it. Alright, he landed the final hit.
Because I've heard you've never seen this ending. What do you think of this weird ending?
What did I just watch? He just punched the moon. Well, he could have just, that would have made the plot of Majora's Mask a lot shorter.
Yeah, exactly.
The movie just punches it down and then it just springs back.
People talk about not liking Donkey Kong Country 3's ending. This is the funniest ending in this series. Why did they decide to go with cartoon nonsense?
Yeah. That was quite the ending.
Donkey Kong brings. You've met a terrible fate, haven't you?
Donkey Kong's like, okay. And then punches the moon.
It's not how I remember Majora's Mask going.
That should have been Donkey Kong's final smack. He just jumps up.
So yeah, that's something.
Guess Mario's not the only one who's been this phase.
Why? Cartoon like is right. May as well have been a Looney Tunes bit. Yeah. There's people in chat reacting to this ending. Anyway, the Mario Kart scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, the blue shell doesn't even target Peach and Toad because they're in first, but Mario and Donkey Kong are in. But the blue shell targets Mario and Donkey Kong, and then they fall off Rainbow Road. No Lakitu though.
They just break Rainbow Road. Like what just happened?
Yeah, so they fall down into the ocean below and get eaten by the Mario 64 eel.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Then Peach, the part of the Rainbow Road scene before that, but I like all the classic Mario Kart action.
Yeah, mini turbos and things.
Anti-gravity, and Peach and Toad then head back to the Mushroom Kingdom. And that's where Bowser Peach was obviously not expecting Bowser to perform his rehearsed wedding proposal lines.
Yeah, he definitely maybe needed some more practice.
Then they go to the. Looks like you're running low on balloons, kid. Here's a gift to help you on your way. Love, Cranky. I've never seen that before.
Well, it came at a great time. Yeah, you beat the boss, like...
With no lives left.
Good time. Yeah.
I never knew that was a thing. Discovering new things. So then King Babam and King Boo,
Yeah, that was interesting.
they make cameos at the wedding.
What do you think about their appearance?
King Boo obviously looked like he does in the Mario Kart games and not Luigi's Mansion. I don't know. I think they look fine.
Yeah, I think King Bob looked alright. King Boo, I guess maybe it was just when I was watching him I didn't get a good look, but he looked a little weird. I mean, I'm okay with his Mario Kart appearance, but
I'm surprised they didn't have Luigi interact with King Boo at all.
yeah.
That was a little weird because when Mario saves him, they land where King Boo was. Apparently, he just left or something.
Yeah, I guess he's like, I'll just get out of here.
Yeah. So yeah. So Peach, did you catch that it was Toad who hid the ice flower in Peach's bouquet?
Yeah.
I didn't catch that the first time, which is interesting.
When they said, when he first gave it to her, they were like, I was like, there's certainly something in this bouquet. I didn't know it was like a bomb.
Yeah.
The ice flower made more sense.
Yeah. So Peach uses the ice flower and oh yeah, we completely skipped over the fact that Bowser was going to sacrifice Luigi, King Penguin, and all the other guys. So Peach freezes Bowser, the minions, and then freezes the chains so they get paused. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that Bowser Peach only temporarily
Yeah.
like agrees, so Bowser would leave the Toads alone. I don't know what Bowser was thinking. Like if she would still agree to it if he dropped like the Kongs into a volcano.
Yeah.
I definitely don't know what he was thinking.
Yeah, so then we have Mario and Donkey Kong still in the eel. They realize that they have a short conversation that could have been expanded on where they talk about how they both don't want to be disappointments to their fathers.
Mhm. That was a nice scene.
Then
They find out that they have a rocket barrel.
yep. Then they find out the rocket barrel, the second Donkey Kong Country Returns reference. Of all the games I could have been streaming, they referenced it so many times.
Yeah.
I forget. I was doing a rocket barrel level earlier today. I should have mentioned that that's a Mario movie reference.
They didn't have the music though. I don't.
No, they didn't have the music.
Was there
The JonTron YTPMV. Yeah, I showed Spaghetti that before we saw the movie.
That was pretty funny.
So then, so then they fly. Once they arrive at the Mushroom Kingdom, they get shot down. So it's this really cool scene with Mario and Donkey Kong doing the platforming Mario thing throughout the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah, Fire Donkey Kong.
Yeah, Fire Donkey Kong. You have a really epic remix of the main Mario theme, then the Mario World athletic theme, the Mario 3 athletic theme. The soundtrack there was great, and so was the action. Then then you have you want to take over? I need to focus on this.
Alright. Yeah, after they kind of clear out most of Bowser's army, they get up. The Bowser, at this point, Bowser's pretty mad. So Bowser's like, we're just gonna drop them all in the volcano. So Peach tries to freeze the chain that holds everyone up, and then the ice breaks. So Donkey Kong grabs it, pulls everyone up. Everyone gets freed. And then Bowser is just like, enough's enough, and he fires a bonsai bill at Peach's castle.
Yeah.
I'll Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Yeah, I doubt that was an intentional reference. Well, it might have been, but yeah.
That whole thing. Obviously, we saw that part of it in a trailer.
Yeah, I don't think we saw the bonsai bill though. I just thought it was Mario. So I just thought it was earlier in the movie that Mario had the Tanuki suit. But yeah, about. Oh, this level's gonna be horrible. So then, before that, Mario, of course, saves Luigi right before he falls in the lava with the Tanuki suit.
Yeah.
Which is a really cool moment. And when Mario lands after saving Luigi, that's probably the first he sees of Bowser is just him trapped in the ice.
Yeah.
Which I noticed, he just doesn't see him up until that point. It's pretty interesting. But
well,
then
besides the interrogation scene
what? Wait, what interrogation scene?
with Luigi.
Oh, well, that's the first Mario scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, then
Whole the bonsai build thing. I think I had mentioned this before, but when he directed the bonsai build towards the warp pipe, I thought he was sending it into Brooklyn.
yeah, I was so confused. When I saw that that was Mario's plan, I was thinking, Mario, what are you thinking? What exactly is your plan here?
And part of me thought he was just gonna bonsai build was gonna blow up the warp pipe and they're gonna be stuck until they found like another one.
Yeah, but my question was, how does he know that what happened was going to happen?
It's an excellent question.
That's a really weak. That's a little weird part of the movie that it's not really explained. But yeah, so the bonsai build blows up in the space-time continuum thing, and space-time, universes collide and things get weird. So everyone gets sucked. Apparently none of the toads get sucked in because they all fled. But when Mario, Peach, Bowser, Donkey Kong, Luigi, and Toad, they all get sucked into Brooklyn. Which can I say I was not expecting the final battle to be in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I for sure thought it was just gonna be Mario and Luigi against Bowser over lava or something. Turns out it's in Brooklyn instead, which does tie into the whole they wanted to save Brooklyn thing, which of course Mario sees the commercial where he says that. It's a good character development moment, but so I assume that's why they go back to Brooklyn, and also so Mario's dad can say Wahoo again. What else? Well, game over. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna buy lives. I think So what do you think of that scene in general?
The climax.
Yeah, the Brooklyn part.
I thought it was interesting. I liked how Mario, they go back, kind of return to where they started with the whole.
Yeah, Punch Out Pizzeria.
Yeah, they see the commercial. It's like, we're gonna save Brooklyn. That's nice that
they make it come full circle. There are a lot of things that come full circle in the movie.
Yeah.
But I feel like even though they tried, I feel like if they really wanted it to be a good emotional story, I feel like it needed another half hour.
Yeah.
To kind of just build up the characters a little bit more.
Yeah, I do like how Luigi came and like he used the manhole cover to block the fire.
Yes, I haven't seen anyone bring up how Luigi blocking the fire with the manhole is just like how he pushes back in the water in their first job.
Yeah.
I never saw anyone bring that up. Yeah, Mario runs for the star. It looks like he's about to get burned to a crisp, but then Luigi saves him.
And then they both use the star at the same time.
Then they both get the star, and then probably the second or third most hyped part of the movie begins, where they where they just rush through Bowser's army and defeat Bowser with the star, and the music is great as well.
A nice rendition of the start theme.
Yeah, that's obviously really cool. Then you have then it cuts to Mario and Luigi getting out of bed, leaving the house, about to start their another plumbing job, but when they walk out of the house, you see they're in the Mushroom Kingdom. So apparently they have this home away from home, and they jump into the warp pipe to Brooklyn.
Yeah, that was a nice scene. It's interesting to see a house in Brooklyn and their house in the Mushroom Kingdom.
They did. I guess they just live in the Mushroom Kingdom now, which is a really cool way to end it. Because I thought for a second, are they gonna go back to the Mushroom Kingdom at all? But yeah, that would. So I really liked the ending. I didn't so much like the music that played in that part, but oh well. So then, after that, the credits roll. Oh yeah, and Peach feeds a mini mushroom to Bowser, so he gets all tiny, just like Galaxy 2. Galaxy 2.
Yeah, they had a second shorter version of Peaches, and they get the.
Yes, and that is revealed. Of course, it was Bowser. Still tiny, locked in Peach's castle in a jar, of course. He wasn't in a jar in Galaxy 2, but he was tiny in Galaxy 2.
Have you heard that in the jar maybe a reference to the ending of 3D
Yes,
World?
yes, the jar as well is definitely a reference to 3D World, because he is indeed stuck in a jar in 3D World when he's not tiny. So it's basically a double reference to the endings of 2 games, since he's tiny and he's in a jar. Was that the only Galaxy 2 specific thing in the movie?
Pretty much. I think as far as I could tell, at least.
Yeah, because obviously that's gonna be my favorite reference in the movie, just because it's the one thing that specifically references my favorite game. But
yeah, obviously no logos.
no billboard either. But actually, we didn't see a wooden sign. There might have been.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and check. I thought for sure they'd have one somewhere.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, that's the mid-credit scene, and then the post-credit scene is Yoshi being revealed, which, as big of a Yoshi fan as Spaghetti is, and
that was nice. After Yoshi's appeared for less than 5 seconds in the entire rest of the movie.
Yeah,
It was nice to...
it feels like a really odd decision to just leave Yoshi out of it so much and just save him for a sequel or something. But
I think it kind of makes sense, because he wasn't introduced to
World.
He wasn't introduced until Mario World. So
Yeah.
maybe they were trying to do something similar like that.
Yeah.
Way to introduce them, but
These Yoshi's a really popular character, so they're probably gonna make him the star of the sequel in some way. Yoshi's Island. It's gonna be Yoshi's Island, and that's gonna explain Peach's backstory.
yeah, they released that. It's just Yoshi's Island, yes. Get baby Bowser. That means that the CFS are also where Bowser could
maybe the baby DK thing could be canon since they do live in the Mushroom Kingdom technically.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall thoughts on the movie?
I thought it was pretty good. I do think, obviously, I look forward to any sequel news, even if they're just in the process of making another one. I think they'll probably make at least
Yeah, my prediction, because this is selling just so insanely well, there's no way they're not gonna do more. So I think what we're gonna have is a sequel, maybe even a third one, who knows, and then from there they'll branch off into other areas of Mario games that weren't covered in the main ones, but such as Mario Galaxy, or maybe even Sunshine or something.
I heard that they could consider doing maybe other Nintendo series.
Yeah, and then after they've done maybe one or two more Mario movies, they're gonna branch off and do a Zelda movie, and then maybe a Metroid movie, a Kirby movie.
Yeah, they ever do a Pikmin movie? Yeah, I don't know if that would sell quite as well as Mario movie, but
They're not
no, maybe.
I think what they notice how obviously that yes, there is Mario's family looks a little bit like the two Zelda characters, so that is a Zelda reference. But aside from that, there are no Zelda, Metroid, or Kirby references in the Brooklyn Park, which leads me to believe those are the ones they're going to turn into films later. Because sorry if you're a Kid Icarus fan, but it's a canonical video game in the Mario universe, so I don't think it's going to be a movie. No, at least no Mario movie universe.
It was interesting how Mario has an NES.
Yeah, Mario has an NES. Don't think about that too much, because that means what exactly is an NES or a Nintendo without Mario? It's a little weird to think about.
Maybe you just have $7,000.
So yeah, as far as what do you think of the humor? I guess that's something we didn't talk about.
I thought the humor, I thought it was pretty good. Some of the jokes obviously were better than others. They didn't really have too many weird, like we had the fart joke, please no thing on the bingo card we made.
Yeah.
But they didn't have any super out of place jokes, I felt.
Yeah. I guess that is one of the things I guess I'm glad the movie didn't have was the typical that's why we were afraid that it wasn't going to be good when we heard that Illumination was going to make it, because Illumination is known for really not good humor. The specific type of cringe humor from Minions movies and stuff. Everyone knows what it is, but if you can picture it, the Mario movie doesn't have it, which is good.
Yeah.
Instead, it has quite a few actual funny jokes.
Yeah, a lot of them were, references and things.
Yeah.
Like the Your Princess is Another Test.
I mean, we were laughing at the joke, but we were laughing at the references more.
Yeah, I think just having like black testing
Yeah.
was that alone is a lot of people are talking about.
Yeah, I think the humor is one of the is it's not a particularly it's not particularly a part of the movie that stands out as amazing or anything, but I'll count it as a win because it's not as bad as it could have been nearly. So.
So how did how did it kind of follow up with your pre-movie expectations?
My pre-movie expectations of there are going to be things to like about it and not like about it.
Yeah.
That's still my stance. What a surprise.
Yeah. Pretty good one.
Yeah. I think the biggest complaint most people had was the story, and
Yeah, I can understand that.
Obviously, if you're looking for, if you don't know that main series Mario games typically don't have story, and then you go in expecting a story, you're going to be disappointed. But it has the elements of a good story. It just needed another half hour, and then it would have a story. That's my opinion. It has everything necessary. It just needed to be expanded.
Yeah, do you think it was rushed at all?
I don't think it was rushed. I think they have scenes in there that they had to cut out because they had to be an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if there are any deleted scenes or something.
I'm sure there are deleted scenes that probably make the story a lot better. I'm sure that it's there. And maybe we'll get a director's cut version when it comes out, dude.
That would be nice.
Director's cut version with the original soundtrack without the 80s songs.
This time they credit Grant Kirkhope.
Yes, this time they credit Grant Kirkhope and Tataka and David Wise. Yeah. But yeah, if you're I think we mentioned this after we saw the movie. The story is in between. There are three types of stories in Mario games. There are the New Super Mario Bros. Quality stories, which is what most Mario games are. There's the Mario movie, which is sort of in between that and the other category. And the other category is Mario RPG / Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, I think that's a good description.
Because people always say, oh, there isn't a single Mario game that has a good story. Well, that's not exactly true. Galaxy and the RPGs have amazing stories, absolutely amazing. But
don't forget Mario Party Advance.
and Mario Party Advance. But if for some reason the only Mario games you've played are the ones with good stories, like Galaxy and maybe 1000 Year Door or something, or Super Paper Mario, yeah, I think you're probably going to be disappointed by the Mario movie story. Because like I said, it's better than most of the main series, but it's no Galaxy.
Yeah. Definitely, it was alright. They kind of combined some things. Obviously, we talked about Odyssey, how it had the whole wedding thing was an Odyssey reference.
Yeah.
The star, I don't know, maybe a reference to the world is going to function in the same ways.
Yeah, I think people will kind of laugh at you if you say you play Mario games for the story, but if you play Mario Galaxy or 1000 Year Door or Super Paper Mario specifically, play those games for the story. That's how those games are meant to be played, basically. I don't know, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, obviously, Galaxy story is kind of weird. I mean, it's good, but then there's not a whole lot of collaboration happens.
Yeah, it leaves a lot up to interpretation, but there's a lot of really interesting stuff there. Which is why, of course, I can get into this in its own Galaxy 2 video, but I think Galaxy 2, much like the movie itself, has all the elements necessary for a story just as good as the first game, but it just needed to be expanded.
Yeah.
And then I think, as controversial of an opinion as this is, I think Thousand Year Door is a better Mario story than Super Paper Mario. I don't really know anyone who's played Thousand Year Door besides me, but
I'd like to. It cost over $100.
yeah,
I just spent over $200 on a Pokemon game this week.
yeah.
It's collectible.
So yeah, so Thousand Year Door. The reason I think Thousand Year Door is a better Mario story than Super Paper Mario is because I think the reason is because Super Paper Mario is a good story, but it's not a good Mario story. And what I mean by that is it doesn't incorporate any elements of what you would typically expect from a Mario story. Mainly just that Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Bowser are the side characters. They're not really important at all.
Yeah.
Whereas in Thousand Year Door, it still feels very Mario, despite being way better than your typical New Super Mario Bros. So yeah, those are my opinions on story in Mario games. If you play the right games, there are good stories there. Just not quite the Mario movie.
Yeah, I'll definitely, assuming I get a copy, I'll play Thousand Year Door eventually.
You know what? Here's what we'll do for your birthday or something. I'll mail you I'll mail you my copy, and then you just play it until you're done.
Sounds nice. We can do our temporary exchange where I can use your copy of Thousand Year Door until I beat it, and then I'll lend you my Pikmin games.
Yeah.
If you're still interested.
I mean, if I have the money, I'd like to own them myself, but that's fine too.
If you'd like, I mean, you could also use Pikmin 3 Deluxe does have a demo, and if you wanted to demo like this playthrough to see if you actually want to play the games.
You know what? Do we have anything else we want to say in the Mario movie? Because I'm gonna change the text to say we're done talking about it now.
Alright, I think that's pretty much it. Did you have any final remarks? Or
no, I just think my final remarks are, if you're a fan, it's a 10 out of 10, and it's
Yeah.
really great.
I think that's a good. I guess my final remarks are, it's definitely very heavy on the references, which I think is a good thing. I know a lot of video game movies are a little bit lackluster.
Okay,
but
before I change the text, that is what that is probably people forget how big of a how glad we should be that the Goombas look like Goombas and not 7-foot tall aliens.
Yep.
We
But,
after a history of video game movies not following the source material at all and also being terrible, I think too many references. We should absolutely take that.
I definitely think that was one of the better things. I understand, like I think I mentioned last week, critics aren't mixed reviews, and I think they're obviously just picking on the story, but for what Nintendo wanted to do, I think that was the reference.
Well, if you know how critic reviews work, it's not based on the overall average score of when you combine all the reviews. So a bunch of people rated it averagely. It's because it takes out the average of the. It's how many people rated something 10 out of 10 or 5 out of 10 or whatever. So the reason it's out of 52 is because half of them are 10 out of 10s and half of them are 2 out of 10s.
Yeah, it's definitely. You just look at the Rotten Tomatoes critic score versus the audience.
Yeah, the audience score is 96. What it deserves.
It's definitely.
I think, yeah, critically as a movie, if you're not a Mario fan, you probably won't care. But yeah, I think that's what Lasagna said too. But yeah, we all saw it. We all saw it together. You probably saw the picture in my community post. And we played Mario Kart 64 on the way there.
Yeah.
And we played, and before we left, we played Mario Kart and Mario Party.
Yeah, we had a very interesting Mario Party, dude.
Yeah, the very first minigame was look away. Actually, okay, I want people to hear this. I want people to hear this, so I'm going to add text.
All right.
That says all right. I got the text. We can unmute now. You all.
Maybe we should specify we are done talking about the Mario movie, so they don't think the streams are. Or maybe they'll.
Yeah, that's what the text says. It says we are done talking about the Mario movie.
Okay. It's very, very large. Very large text.
Okay, I think that works. So you all can unmute now. So anyway, the first mini game we played in our Mario Party game before we saw the movie was Look Away, and that minute it was so funny. So it was me and Spaghetti, or it was Spaghetti as the one person, and me, Lasagna, and the CPU Donkey Kong on the other team, the 1v3, and how the minigame works is the one person has to look in the same direction as the 3 people to try and get them all out. And Spaghetti looked down, and all the rest of us looked down at the same time, and we lost immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I was not expecting it to go that quick. That was...
Yeah, that Mario Party game was very interesting.
Lasagna got, he got the...
Oh,
the
yeah.
1,000 coin present.
He got the 10,000 coin present, which of course he just runs away, but apparently Anthony was really shocked and Lasagna was really shocked, and I didn't really know why. Because I thought, oh, it's just something that happens. But no, apparently it's really rare. So, yeah, that was funny. So a conversation point I have recently acquired in my collection of games. And this, well, not what you're thinking. We're gonna keep that a surprise.
Okay.
A different game. It's called Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D.
Okay, well that's something.
Not. Yeah. So what I did was I quickly played through the game to get to the final world because, as you know, the new content in that game is one extra world, and they're kind of the best. It's kind of the best world in the game, which is really interesting. That the levels are just a small step above the rest of the levels in the game. It's really good. This is one where you make a giant robot DK. It's really cool. So yeah, there's that. Okay, I need to focus because I can usually get past this really easily. Apparently I can. Okay. And now this part is very hard. And I fell off. Alright, so do you... Oh, here's another thing we can talk about. Have you booked your plane tickets to Seattle yet?
Well, I'd heard about that.
So
I guess I haven't done a lot of research on it.
So E3 gets canceled, and Nintendo immediately goes and announces Nintendo Live in Seattle in September, which is basically E3, but it's open to the public, and it's gonna have a lot of people there. It's gonna have esports, I guess, and maybe they'll announce stuff there. Who knows?
Yeah.
So I don't know about you, but if it's at all possible, I would really like to go. Yeah, are you looking it up?
Yeah.
I don't think they've announced the exact dates yet, but it is. I think we just know it's happening in September.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see. Maybe if it's not I assume it'll probably be over a weekend, but maybe we could fit in a Seahawks game.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So for those who don't know, it's really funny that it's in Seattle because of course that's where the Seahawks are, and Spaghetti is the only Seahawks fan I know.
Yeah, I'm not from Seattle.
Yeah, we are nowhere near being from Seattle, but yeah, Spaghetti is a Seahawks fan, so it's.
I have been there. I've driven past Nintendo of America.
Yeah.
I went there in November of 2019. I drove past Nintendo of America headquarters.
Yeah, so
That was interesting.
So it's really funny that it's in Seattle because if we were able to go, we could catch a quick Seahawks game over there. That would be really funny.
And obviously, yeah, they still haven't announced any of the dates or things yet.
Yeah.
Well, just keep them eye out.
I don't know. Do you are you gonna be? Do you think that's something you could at all go to? Maybe. We'll just have to see. It's a little far away. We'll just have to see.
Yeah. That'd be interesting.
Okay, I don't know why this is the hardest level so far.
Yeah. I guess maybe a gauntlet style have to restart thing.
It's just the 4th and 5th sections that are really hard. So yeah, I imagine, did they say does it say they're going to announce things if it's going to be like E3 in that sense?
I didn't see anything specific that was mentioned.
Because that would be a cool place to watch a direct.
Yeah.
Nintendo New York store. What other things have happened we can talk about?
Advance Wars is coming out on the Switch this Friday.
Oh yeah.
I may not get it right away, but I'll probably pick it up sometime in the next month.
The other Intelligent Systems RPG. No, the other one. It's basically how I would describe it.
I think it's pretty fun. I don't know. Fire Emblem is interesting enough, but I like how your commanding officers aren't actually like units in the battle. They instead are kind of overseeing the battle and have different abilities that affect your troops and things. But they do have now, this version has local multiplayer.
I don't think.
So even if, I think even if you only have one copy of the game, 4 people can play locally.
Unlike Mario Kart Super Circuit.
Yeah.
I don't remember this 4th part being all that hard. It is or something? Well, we got past it this time. And now for the impossible part. Second time I've got here. Imagine with the Mario movie and Super Nintendo world, this is just Nintendo's just gonna stop making Mario games. making
That would
making
be
Mario
better.
everything else instead.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Okay, so we still don't know what the next one is.
Maybe. Well, maybe they'll release something. They may wait until if they do announce new things at Nintendo Live. It may be until then, but. Or maybe at E3 really would have been nice to see a game announced for that, but
And here's the Golden Temple from Mario Kart 7.
oh boy. So what exactly is happening at this level?
It's Fruit Land or something. I don't really know.
Yeah,
It's
like
it's complex lore.
these stage assets probably aren't used elsewhere.
Complex lore.
It's like fruit.
So this level is normally already the hardest level in the game, but now it's perfect run.
Yeah. Does this stage have any checkpoints?
Nope. So it really is the perfect run.
You figure that probably would be.
Yeah, that is really funny that it's in Nintendo Live is in Seattle. Of all places, you can see a Seahawk game.
Yeah. Maybe they'll bring Reggie back.
Yeah, Reggie hasn't really done much of anything outside of write the book since he left.
Yeah.
Is this level of mod? No, this is actually in the game. It definitely doesn't look like something that would actually be in the game, but yeah, it's in the game. Maybe the Nintendo World Championships can be there.
Yeah, they're gonna have some competitions. It's the website says.
They're bringing it back again.
That'd be nice.
And in the final round is beat Reggie at Smash Bros.
Did you see that one commercial that it was like a meme? They did a big thing where Reggie like quit his job so he could train to be the next man.
Yes. Those Nintendo commercials, people make fun of the Wii U ads, but those types of Wii U ads were great. Those were so good. Legitimately great acting from Reggie and Bill Trinan.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you're fired. Remember that scene?
Yeah.
Bill eating all the donuts.
Yeah. I remember when that. I remember that direct.
I don't know if you've seen Reggie play Smash Bros before, but that I don't know. I think either of us would probably be able to beat him.
Well. Maybe it depends on the game.
Because there was this actual Smash Bros tournament where I don't know if you saw this, where Reggie. They actually got Reggie to show up, and they made the winner fight Reggie. And I don't think they told him how to recover.
Well. What character did he use?
He used Ryu.
Well, he didn't use Yoshi, so his recovery kind of thing.
Yeah. And with that, I am pretty sure that is all the levels in hard mode for the first time. So, I need to see if I have unlocked the extra. What? 198%? What am I missing? Tell me, what am I missing?
Well,
I'm missing something.
I'm not as familiar with, obviously, the game, so...
Alright, I guess I'll just have to go through every level. So I got world 1. World 2. Oh! I didn't do this level in hard mode. Apparently I forgot.
Well, you found it.
Yeah, at least I found it. I don't... Hopefully this won't actually take that long. It's not a overly hard level.
Did you have a favorite level in this game?
You know, that's a good question. I guess since we've played through all of them over the past month, I'd say maybe the minecart level, with the spinning, the wheel like track that spins around. Maybe that one. Maybe also the I also of course like any of the any of the the silhouette levels. Those are great too.
References, there's the... So what's kind of the enemies in this game? What's kind of the backstory? Because they just kind of show up and then Donkey Kong punches the moon into them.
I don't really think they have much of a backstory. But, we saw the opening cutscene where they erupted out of the volcano, but I think the backstory for these guys is just supposed to be. I don't think they're supposed to have a backstory. I think it's more so about learning the backstory of the Banana Horde than the Tikis. Because we do learn a lot of lore about the Banana Horde, just not the Tikis. Yeah, what did you think of the cutscene before the final boss?
That was weird. Wasn't quite sure what was. I was interested. Not sure why the bananas quite have the different properties.
Image gallery updated. Did I do it? Let's see. $200%! Yay! This is the very first time I've did that.
Alright.
Alright, let's look at what we got. We got unused Tiki enemies. We got unused designs. And then we got all this storyboard for the moon, the ending moon sequence. also got Kong Gallery. I was expecting to speak big alright with this. Nice Donkey Kong arcade reference. Mole carts. It's the World 4 boss. Apparently there was going to be some sort of bird boss on the Cliff World? I don't know. This is pretty cool. And finally, let's see what this is. Temple entrance. Saw that. And temple exterior. Nice! I have finally, at long last, 100% in this, or 200% in this game, that I have not done that before. And it took two hours to do one world.
Well,
Yep. I thought the final level itself was going to take way longer than it did the Golden Temple one. I thought it was going to take way longer, and it has taken way longer not in hard mode before. Wow. What did we learn from this experience?
punching the moon is not recommended.
I think... What?
Also, we apologize if anyone got extremely spoiled on the Mario movie.
Okay. Yeah, so... I don't know, this could be just my opinion, but if you didn't want to be spoiled, you could have not watched the stream.
Mm-hmm.
It's just my opinion, but I don't think we're doing anything wrong here. We had text that said we're gonna spoil it the entire stream, so anyway, I think I haven't said what we learned from this experience yet. This game has very interesting lore.
Yeah. That's definitely the case.
Well, I guess we'll see you next stream, which would be, well, I'm not gonna say what it is, but you can probably figure it out.